everyone, my name is Jocelyn and I have just come back from work. So let's talk about work, because my job is a thing. I actually really like to keep my work life and my online life separate. However, I don't mind sharing that I work in a pub/restaurant, and as someone who's worked there for 2 years, I can tell you just a few little things about what it's like and how you as the customers can potentially help me and in turn also help yourselves. Because if I get to do my job well, you get to have a really good experience. So here's a list of do's and don'ts for what to do as a customer. I've actually split this list up into general things and COVID related things, because some of these are just always and some of these are just COVID specific, like things that we've had to deal with for the past year and a bit. So when you are entering the establishment, a really good idea is don't sit at a dirty table. This might sound kind of obvious, but the amount of times I have seen someone move to a table that's already got glasses there that hasn't been wiped down yet, or someone who has gone to a table and I am 3 seconds behind them with my cloth and my spray and I'm about to wipe the table down, and then they sit down and then they're like, oh, can you just wipe this for me? Like, no. I was going to do it anyway, but now it feels like I'm your slave. And also, on the subject of cleaning tables, don't hover when I am cleaning a table. I work in a place where it gets filled very rarely. You know, there's plenty of tables to choose from that are clean and clear and free from plates and stuff. If I am cleaning a table, it means that this table is not yet ready. And if someone is standing, like, you know, within the 2 meter limit, because nobody respects the social distancing thing. But if they're standing there, again, it's just fucking rude. Just look around for another table while I'm busy with this one. Or walk around and then come back to it. Do look around for signage of like where things are. Where's the menus? Where's the toilets? Where's the smoking area? Where's the beer garden? What guest ales are on that particular day? Like, if you look for those things, you will find them. Because I really don't want to be asked when I'm in the middle of serving somebody else, or even when I'm serving you, like something that's pretty obvious. If you've had a look and you can't find anything, then fair enough, ask. But don't forget to use your eyeballs first. Don't try to order when I am busy. If I am clearing a table or if I am taking food to someone, don't turn around and say, oh, I'll have a pint of this and I'll have a thing of, and some chips, please. Don't do that. If you say, oh, excuse me, when you've got a minute, can I order? That's fine. Because then when I come back to you, I can give you my full attention. The amount of times I've had someone ask me, oh, I'll have this and this and this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be with you in a minute. Like, I'm fucking busy. I need to get paid more for this, I really do. Also, when you're ordering, don't take the piss when it comes to substitutions. I work in a place where substitutions are allowed, and if you're having a breakfast and you don't want the mushroom because you don't like them or whatever, You say, can I have no mushroom but add beans instead, like extra beans? Like, that's fine. You swap one thing, fine. Don't say, oh, I'll take off the bacon and add an egg, and I'll take off the sausage and add an egg, and I'll take off the toast and add more hash browns. And just don't do that. Don't do that. Pick the one thing that you like the least, swap that out for the one thing that you like the most, and just leave it at that. Because it is such a nightmare to write down these tickets on, like, I use a computer system, we use tablets and things, but even then the tickets still look horrendous. And kitchen has to deal with, like, what their specs of a breakfast normally looks like, and then change everything for that. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Don't do that. If you have asked to see me, do know what you want to order. Don't ask to see me and then say, oh, right, let's see. Well, I don't know what you want. I think maybe I'll have... No, don't do that. Don't do that. Sit down, look at your menu, figure out what you want, then ask to see me so that I can come over and take your order as quickly as possible, because it's just wasting my time and yours and everybody else's. Do have your payment ready when it is required. I work in a place that requires you to pay first, but some places they pay afterwards, and I always forget to pay afterwards because I'm so used to doing it this way of paying first because of where I work. And it's just, you know, have it ready, have it prepared so that you don't forget to do it whenever you need to do it, whether it's before or after. This is something for people, generally everybody under 30, but even then people over 30 should probably do this as well. Have your ID ready. I had to turn away someone earlier because I asked them for ID and they said, oh, I'm 28, I don't bring my ID with me. Well, you still look 22. So I have to ask you. If I do not ask you, I can get in trouble, the company can get in trouble, there's prison time, there's £1,000 worth of fines involved, like, it's just better to ask. So I need to do that, and if you are under 30, you must have an ID. If you are over 30, you can probably get away with not having a proof of age ID, but the other day I asked someone for ID and it turns out she was the same age as me, 36. And I thought she was like, you know, probably over 18, but like under 25. We've got to ask. We've got to ask. It's just, it is the law. So please have that ready. I don't drive. I don't have a driving license. I don't have a passport, but I do have a proof of age ID. They are not difficult to get. Right, when you've finished, do leave your plates as tidy as possible. You don't have to necessarily stack them, although that is really, really good and that is helpful. But even if it's just all of your knives and all of your rubbish, your sugar packets and everything just on the plate rather than scattered all about the table, like, put it all on the plate so that I can just grab them and go. I don't want to be there hovering over you more than is necessary, and I'm pretty sure you don't want me hovering over you either. It just makes things quicker, more convenient, and just easier for everyone. Speaking about condiments, don't waste them. You might think, okay, it's just the company's money that's being wasted, but what if I wasn't working in a big company? What if I was working for an independent pub? You know, that's money down the drain. And don't take 6 packets of mayonnaise when you only need 2. If you are going to take that many and you've taken more than you need, I can't put the unused ones back. It's not sanitary, even without the whole COVID thing going on, you know? And also on the topic of wastage, don't waste food. If you order a massive steak meal and you eat half of it, you've got, like, you know, half a steak that you still want to eat, you can ask for takeaway boxes. Most places will do them, and we're happy to provide that because we know we'd rather you get your money's worth and also not have to throw stuff out than the alternative, which is just wasteful. I have, and this is, I think it was last week sometime, we had a table of 2. They ordered a big curry, a big something else, and a dessert, and some drinks, and they left everything. They had probably 1 bite, by the looks of it. And we just left this food there, thinking, oh, they must be in the toilet and they're going to come back in a minute. And then 5 minutes later, nobody had come back. 10 minutes later, nobody had come back. And we had to throw away all that food. And we're thinking, well, you've just come in here, wasted all your money, wasted our time, wasted the food for 2 bites of a thing? Like, why? Why? I don't understand. If you want to take stuff away, I mean, there's certain things that you just can't take away, but pretty much most things can be taken away. A steak, a jacket potato, like desserts, like, you know, slice of cookie dough or whatever. Like, they can all be pretty much taken away. Like, we've done entire brunches and breakfasts in takeaway boxes before, with like runny eggs and chips everywhere, and just, I don't really know how well that sort of transports, but, you know, we've done it. So I had finished recording my video, editing my video, and today some things happened at work that made me realise that I needed to add more things to my list of do's and don'ts. So here they are. First thing, do control your offspring. You decided to breed. You decided to bring the crotch goblins into public. You need to be a parent. You need to parent those children. You need to control them. A restaurant is not a playground. A restaurant is not a place for them to scream like they're being eviscerated. My ears today were practically bleeding. It's not fair on me or anyone else, and I'm sure you don't want to look like a bad parent, right? I don't mean to tell you how to do your parenting thing. Actually, I do. Do not yell at your children. Do not threaten violence, you know, and do not let them wander around. If you need to sit them down, grab them, you are bigger than them, and sit them down. Or take them out of the restaurant. Just leave. If you've promised them pizza and they won't behave, do not let them have the pizza. And certainly don't feed your small 5-year-old any caffeinated beverages, because that's asking for trouble. Another thing that I really need you to do is, if it is busy, do be patient. Because I've had a lot of people today stop me to ask me, where's their drinks? Where's their food? What's happening? Like, look around you. If it's really, really busy, that means that there's a backlog. If it's not, fine, fair enough. But if it is really busy, don't stop me, because that's just going to make everything slower, including you getting your drinks and food. Related to that topic, when it's busy, don't stop me to ask me about my tattoos. Okay, I have lost count of the amount of times that I have been asked about my tattoos. Now, as a tattooed person, this kind of happens anyway, but I don't mind it so much in social situations. When I mind it is when I'm at work trying to do my job and I'm really busy. If the topic comes up, I will tell you about my tattoos if I want to. But the amount of times I have been asked, what does that mean? Especially the Russian, because people obviously don't, like, one person I have spoken to, like a customer, knows Russian. Nobody else does. And I do not feel like going through the entire phrase with every other customer. It's long, it's not really something that I want to do, like, when I'm busy. And it's not really something I want to do when I'm at work, when it's not too busy. Because my tattoos are for me. Yeah, they're visible, at least some of them are, but that's a personal thing, and I just don't have the patience to go through what all of my tattoos mean, because I've got somewhere in the region of 35, 40 of them now. Like, no, please, God, no. So now for the pandemic specific list. This is a little bit shorter than the other list because most people tend to be up to speed with what's going on. However, for those of you that don't already know, do follow the rules that are specific to the pandemic. Okay? You're lucky that you are being allowed to eat and drink in public as it is, because we've already had 3 separate periods of time where that has not been allowed. So be grateful for that. And the way you show gratitude is to follow the rules that we have to all abide by. Okay, this is not me making the rules. This is not my manager making rules. This is not even head office making some of these rules. These rules are coming to us from the government. So it's been over a year now. It's been long enough for people to understand what the rules are and, you know, how to act in public, when is appropriate to wear masks and not wear masks, and social distance and all that sort of stuff. And if you're not sure and you are listening to this, then I know that you know how to use the internet. So look it up. The government website is really, really easy to find, and it's written in plain English, plain wording, so it's not full of jargon. It's very easy to understand, and following the rules, finding the rules should be easy. A lot of places will also have their own rules, and they will either make them clear in either somebody telling you the rules or having a sign where, like, you know, near the entrance. However, let's go over some specific rules. Do wear masks wherever they are necessary. So I am fed up of being the mask police. I am fed, and all of my colleagues are fed up of asking, do you have a face mask? Can you wear a face mask? Please, do you have a face covering? It gets tired quickly. Okay? The current rules are when you are walking around inside an establishment, whether you need to go use the facilities or go, find some condiments or whatever, like, you need to be wearing a mask. The only time you are permitted to remove it is when you are sitting to eat and drink. That is it. And that is because the tables are 2 meters away or 1.5 meters away. We have partitions as well. So, also, if you are exempt, and I have a video on exemptions and how I think those particular rules are not stringent enough, but the rules being what they are, exemptions are just how they are, and people can be exempt for a number of reasons. But if you are exempt, do get a lanyard or a visible badge, something like that, something that's visible, that tells us that you are exempt. It saves us having to ask you every time, because I'm sick of saying the question. I'm pretty sure that people with exemptions are sick of hearing the question. Like, do you have a mask? Can you wear a mask? Please, do you have a mask? No. It gets tired very, very quickly. So, exemption lanyards and badges are also easy to get. It saves everyone a lot of time and effort if you'd have something visible to say that you are exempt from wearing masks. Hi there, Editing Joy here. Just wanted to say that I cut out a fairly substantial chunk, which was basically just a rant about how I feel the mask exemption situation is and should be, but I cut it for time, and also because I have made an extensive 40-minute video about masks. But in doing so, I actually cut out one of my important points, which was that people who claim to have exemptions when really they're just trying to get away with not wearing masks actually kind of makes a mockery of people who have real exemptions and, like, devalues that, which is unfair on them. One of the other major rules is don't forget test and trace. So some places will automatically have someone to, like, take your details for you. Some places, like my establishment, will provide QR code to use the NHS app, test and trace app. We also have pencils and paper forms to write down your details. Yes, it sounds like the government is spying on you, okay, but it's not the government. It's a branch of the NHS. And if there is an outbreak, would you rather know or not know? A couple of more human rules to lay out for you. Do bear with us, because as much difficulty and effort it is for you to eat and drink in an establishment during COVID, it's 10 times harder for us to work in these conditions. We hate these restrictions too. We hate these things that are making our jobs harder than they used to be. I cannot wait until people can come up to the bar and we can do bar service again. People are walking around in masks all the time anyway. It's not going to make that much difference, I don't think. The fact that people are coming out and about is what's pushing the numbers up. It's not the fact that people aren't coming to the bar. But we are stuck with this rule. We have to abide by this rule, so please bear with us. We are just as frustrated, if not more, than you are. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble about how difficult my job is, and hopefully you can take away some of these things and, you know, they all fall under the category of don't be a dick, but you know, these more sort of specific ways that you can help me to help you have the best kind of experience possible. Okay? Thank you for watching, and as always, non-binary is valid. God damn it. That is another government guideline that we have to follow. Oh, that's good. That is pink gin. That is a pint of pink gin and tonic.